Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Drug Court. I'm Judge Martin. Let me make one quick announcement and a quick note to myself. Okay, so I just wanted to announce, I know I've been telling you guys that we will have some more Gulf Coast Runners things. There's probably one or two of them between now and then, but the next one that is near and dear to my heart is a 5K, so 3.1 miles on March 27th, a little over a month from now. So those of you who've been thinking about maybe trying to ramp up and try a 5K race, you've got a month to train, which, may be enough time depending on where you're starting from. But it's here, it's in Baker Park here, sort of downtown-ish. And Saturday, March 27th. So Nikki's got the information and I think has already been helping me get the word out. I am gonna participate. I'm gonna walk really fast, but I don't run anymore. I graduated from running. But I really want to encourage you guys. This is a super fun race. It actually, Gulf Coast Runners uses this to raise some money to support Baker Park. If you haven't checked out Baker Park and the greenway that's attached to it, you should. It's all free. It's beautiful green space, great place to take the kids, take the dog, toss a ball or a Frisbee around, go for a walk, a run, a hike. Really, really good stuff. So I'm always excited to support this race. There's great energy. It's March, so the weather's still beautiful. It's not too hot yet. So if you're toying with that idea, see Nikki. Gulf Coast Runners will let any active drug court participant in their races free of charge. So Nikki will register you, which means you still get a cool shirt, you get a race tag, all that stuff, without having to pay. Feel free to bring sponsor, roommate, buddies, whatever, but I can't get them comped, only drug court participants. So if they want to participate in the race, they would need to pay the fee. I think it's like $20. It's not exorbitant, and it goes to a good cause. So think about making some time on a Saturday morning. We need volunteers, and you're also free to run or walk. Should be able to walk 3 miles in an hour or less. So it's not like that half marathon we were looking at a couple of weeks ago or a couple months ago. So consider that if you're interested. With that, let me dive into the docket. And let me start with Mr. Bristol.
Hello, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Bristol?
I am doing well. Everything is good.
Good.
I'm really happy. I feel like I'm in a good spot. You know, life is becoming manageable, and I'm having fun. I really am. I'm having fun with it.
Good.
Yeah. Not really much has changed. Last couple weekends, been making it down to the 24-hour club, going to some in-person meetings, hitting the 5:30. Easy does it. It's a big group, but welcoming. I enjoy the atmosphere.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm just the one thing I've been just trying to work on is to expand that recovery network.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's really not a whole lot going on. I'm really doing well.
Good. Well, I think there's a ton going on, but it's steady and it's not chaotic anymore, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was saying, I think like, things are manageable. I'm so used to it. I'm like a robot. It's just like second nature now. Like I enjoy like logging onto the group and getting with the guys and stuff, and it's all good. Good.
Any chance we'll get you out on another Saturday morning to come to a race?
Yeah, I'll have to get the details, but if I'm showing up to that one, I'm gonna participate in it.
That one you should definitely. Now, don't try a 5-minute mile for 3 miles. That could leave a mark. But yeah, I think if you can run a mile fast, you can run 3 miles at a steady pace.
Yeah, I think I got a sub 20 minute in me.
Ooh, now you're talking a little smack. All right, I got you.
Yeah, that'd be a good goal, about 20. Yeah.
I like your swagger. That's good.
Thanks.
Hey, you speaking of goals, you were talking to me about working to expand your network, which it sounds like you're making progress on that. Starting to see anybody that might be a decent prospect for a sponsor yet?
I really don't want to just jump into it with anybody. I really would need to find the good fit, that'd be right with me. Because I kind of dove into it before, and it was just like, whoa, this is overwhelming now, and it's like not something I was like really at the time looking for. I don't know, just when the time's right. I mean, I just feel like everyone goes at a different pace. Everyone's recovery is different, so
yeah.
I'm not like all in all like severely like struggling with anything. So I'm open to it, but it's just just take it as it comes.
I think that's a fair answer, and really the only thing I could ask of you is just that you make it a priority, but it'll happen on its own schedule as you suggested. If you're working actively to expand your network and meet people who are a good fit for supporting your recovery and you're supporting theirs, then I suspect naturally you're going to start to come across one or more folks that might be a good fit in this role. And that's all I would ask. I don't want you to force it. You're right about that, but make it a priority, because you're deep enough into our program now that I want you thinking about life after drug court. And one of the most valuable supports that you could put in place is a good sponsor.
Yeah, I agree with you, because I mean, the first couple times I went down there to the 24-hour club, I tried to get there early and really talk with the guys, but I haven't really exchanged phone numbers or anything like that. Well, that'll be like my next step.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable.
Yes. Well, comfortable, it's such a tricky word in recovery, right?
Yeah.
It can be good, it can be terrible, but I just, like I said, I'm trying to stay on the reasonable side of the line, push you a reasonable amount, past your comfort zone, and have you just engage. But you'll do that at your pace, and I respect that. I just, it's you have set goals and knocked them down very efficiently with us. So this is just something I'm suggesting as a next level goal for you to be, wrapping your head around and pursuing as you become able to.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. You got to keep those goals out in front of you, something to go after.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, and you just, it's how you keep it interesting. It's how you keep it from turning into a rut, because routine is healthy, rut is unhealthy. And sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference. But if you're setting goals and you're pushing yourself into new territory, chances are real good you're going to stay on the healthy side of all of that.
Yes.
Anything that you wanted to address with us, Mr. Bristol?
No, everyth's good. Everyone's really helpful.
Good. Well, see, Nikki, if you think you can get, it's like 5 Saturdays from now, so maybe you can make a plan and come out and join us, and we'll put the stopwatch on you.
Sounds like a plan.
No pressure. Keep up the good work, Mr. Bristol. I'm thrilled to hear that you feel good and that you're feeling your progress. That's tremendous.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me turn next to Mr. O'Brien.
Good evening, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. O'Brien?
I'm doing great. Finally got everything with David Lawrence situated with the job switch, working back with my dad now, and got them the pay stubs that they needed so they could recalculate, what exactly I'm paying monthly.
Okay.
I mean, everything is going great. I'm just, I don't know. I may be like trying to get ahead of myself a little bit, which I don't need to do. I just need to stay focused on the present and see how things turn out in the future. I can't control any of it, you know what I mean? So I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure you guys had your little, your meeting or whatnot with all the team members. So I'm not sure exactly how much information you got from it all, but it's just, I'm an overthinker. So at times, I can do that to myself. So it's just a matter of slowing myself down and, seeing how everything turns out, continue on the path that I'm on, and not let anything get in my way, regardless of what it is,
Well, if you can follow your own advice on that last one, then you're going to be able to manage just about anything. I think it's really good self-awareness and good insight to say, sometimes I get ahead of myself, sometimes I get impatient. And I think that's a fair comment just on the limited time you and I have spent together. I don't know if you feel like it's limited, but I've been doing this 10 years and everybody goes through drug court really fast from where I sit. Right. But, the feedback, to answer your question, I was not present for staffing this morning.
Oh, okay.
But the feedback I got has all been very, very good. So I continue to get consistent, there's our word, consistent good feedback about how you show up, what you bring with you when you show up, and the work that you're putting in to try to make change below the surface and not just on the surface.
That is my goal. That's like what I'm reaching in for, is to find out like everything about the inner me. You know what I mean? Everything on the surface can be touched at whenever, but I need to dig deep, so it's more than just the surface.
Yeah. And I think that's a really fair comment. And so as you get deeper, as you learn more about yourself and what are your strengths and what are your vulnerabilities, everybody's are different, and how you figure out a way to safely navigate that and leverage your strength and work on your vulnerabilities. That's your game plan. Everybody's got a different game plan in this call.
I agree. And it's like what John said, everybody's recovery is different. Not everybody takes the same path, and I can kind of vouch, I ain't gonna say vouch for him, but I can kind of agree with what he says. Like, I'm just like on autopilot, you know what I mean? Everything's become just so natural to me. I'm just,
okay.
It's life now. So, yeah. I mean, I can't say, like you were saying, like, it doesn't seem like it's been forever. I mean, really, honestly, it seems like it was still the same year, but I'm going on year 2 now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
well, it's Blur's Day, the 5,000th day of 2020. So nobody has a sense of time anymore. But let me say this, Mr. O'Brien, as I said a minute ago, I've been getting good, consistent reports. And we did have a bit of a conversation before court. It wasn't our formal staffing, but a bit of a conversation. And all of us agree that particularly when we consider your extra efforts, the volunteer time that you put in with us on the half marathon, that it's time to put you back in phase 4. So congratulations on that.
That's been a long time coming. I'm saying I'm doing all phase 3 over. I promise you guys.
Well, it's a tricky little thing because on the one hand, I try to do cartwheels to make sure that you guys feel seen. I have the speaking part on behalf of the whole dozen or so of us that make up this team, to make sure that you guys know we see your progress when you make it, and also to make sure that we see your BS if you start throwing some of that out at us too.
Yes.
But by the same token, recovery is also very much about who are you when no one's looking. And that's been I talk about there's college level and then there's graduate level. That's the graduate level stuff we've been pushing you on lately. That consistency. What kind of guy are you when nobody's keeping score? And that's where I think we're seeing you find that higher gear and do that harder work. And so we wanted to be sure to recognize that with a phase. Now, by the same token, don't change anything on me, right?
No, man. I wasn't shooting for that last little mishap by any means. I mean, it's done, it's over with, it's in the past. So
yeah,
that wasn't planned by any means. I was still like, even then I was on a strong path then, Ever since I got out of phase 1, you know what I mean? I've been, on the go.
Yep.
So I've been putting in steady good work.
And the reality is this: we operate as a team. At the end of the day, I've got to make the call. And frankly, and I said this to you, I saw that mishap more seriously than the majority of the people on the team did, because for me, it was a matter of, are you going to get comfortable on us? Are you going to get casual on us? And ultimately, your behavior since then has told me, no, Judge, I'm not getting casual. I'm not getting comfortable. But it was my judgment call to say, if he is and we don't jump right on top of this young man could throw away so much more than a couple of days. And so that's my judgment call, right or wrong.
Yeah, and I don't.
With it since then is what my concern is, and I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah, I don't hold you again. Like you gotta kind of like you personally gotta think that way for each and every one of us. But it's like I fully understand how it could look about how something could be coming in the way of my recovery, or I'm putting something before my recovery or whatnot. I fully understand that.
Yeah, and the key is this: look, you're only in drug court for a little while, and if you leave drug court with a mentality that says, I have to view every choice I make in a given day against my recovery, and does it stack up well with my recovery, then drug court was a huge success. And so I think that your decision making for the last 60 days, I think, has been much more representative of what we're going for in a phase 4 level participant. So I'm excited to put you back in that phase, and I'm excited to see you continue to push yourself forward, making even more progress now that you're in that phase.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it, and I will do.
Good. Mr. O'Brien, the other thing that I think is coming is, when you get into a group, you've got an opportunity there to learn from the other guys, but also to potentially contribute something that helps the other guys. And so I want to see you continue to demonstrate humility and leadership. Those two things together.
Yes, I think I love those two things. I love it. Lately, I mean, of course, everybody's gonna love leadership. Everybody wants that. Nobody wants to necessarily be a follower. But especially in my groups, that's what I've been trying to lean towards. That's what I want to be. That's I want to be at the top. I want to show people the right way. I want to contribute and help any way possible. That's kind of a goal in the MRT group for specifics.
Yep. Well, and like I was just talking to Mr. Brestol about, the routine becomes such a critical part of what you're doing, but you keep it from turning into a rut. You keep it from becoming boring by setting goals, finding new ways to push yourself and so forth. And I think that's exactly what you just described there. So, so Mr. O'Brien, you've been patient, you've been working hard. Don't change either of those things, but do know that we've recognized your progress, and we're really excited to see you move deeper into the program. Congratulations.
Thank you guys again.
Well done. Let me switch over to Mr. Gallegos.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gallegos. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just other than the news that I got this morning, my uncle passed away. But other than that, everything's been all right. It's just a tough one on the family, but life goes on. You just got to keep pressing on.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I feel like you've lost a few people who are close to you just in the short time we've known each other.
Yeah, I lost my other uncle about right at 4 months ago.
Yeah.
4 months, and now I lost my uncle Abraham. It's just, it's tough, but like I said, you can't. Like my dad was telling me, you just keep doing what you're doing. You're right where you need to be. Just don't change nothing, and that's how I feel too. It hurt me. Don't get me wrong, but I got somewhere I need to be, and
Yep.
You know, that's what I'm focused on.
Well, it sounds like your dad gave you some really good advice there. And from what you've told me before, your family is tight. Everybody helps each other. Your family's had your back. They've been there for you. And so, you know, you can really honor these people you've lost by making the most of what you're doing for yourself right now.
Right. Yes, no doubt. Absolutely.
And so what have you been working on for us, Mr. Gallegos?
Well, basically, I haven't really changed nothing. I was just starting to look into smart recovery.
Okay.
I was looking for a sponsor, like, you know, Mr. Bresto was saying. I'm not really, you know, I did jump into it in the beginning, but that was just something, I don't want to say terrible or bad. It just wasn't for me. You know, when I'm giving somebody information, you're trying to open up to a person, and then, you know, somebody comes to you and say, hey, you know, I heard about this, or I heard you said this, you know, it makes you feel kind of, you know, it makes you want to close up again, but it's no excuse, you know what I mean? But I'm looking towards the smart recovery type of path. You know, I've been looking at some videos or whatnot in the meetings online.
Good.
And I think, you know, that's something that I really want to hit.
Okay.
You know, I think that's more down my alley, if you ask me.
Okay. That's fine. I think treatment's doing a great job of really working with you guys one-on-one to figure out, one, to educate you on all the options out there, all the different formats available to try to support your recovery, and then trying to help you, you know, connect with those. I don't have any preference at all other than, you know, working towards some sort of ongoing connected support for when you finish with drug court is definitely critical. The guys who don't do that, man, I see them again, and I love you guys, but I don't want to see you again in a criminal justice setting. I want to see you, you know, out on the street with families and jobs and businesses. So, you know, figure out what your fit is and put some energy into putting something together that's going to be a good support for you.
Right. Yes. I fully understand. Yeah. Like I said, the smart recovery, I think, is the way to go for me. And I think I'm just going to go with that.
Okay.
You know, no more bouncing around here and there. I just got to take something and go with it. You know, I feel inside that, you know, that's the way to go. So I'm going to go for it.
Okay. Excellent. Mr. Gallegos, the last thing I wanted to address with you today is that when we incorporate the incentive that you earned at the half marathon, we're going to move you to phase 3 today. So congratulations. That 2 weeks is a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
So what does that mean to you? You're I think all of the gentlemen who are in the old handbook decided they'd rather stay in the old handbook. So you just crossed basically the midpoint and went into the second half of our phased program. What's that mean for you?
I mean, it means a lot. You know, there's still work to be done, but I just appreciate, you know, treatment and you know, Brooke and everybody believing in me. You know, first off, I want to thank my higher power, my Lord and Savior. You know, without him, I wouldn't be nothing. So, you know, thank you to that. And especially all the guys, man. All the guys are a big help. We got a good group right now.
Yeah, you do.
And it's just amazing, you know.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm really enjoying hearing about that. Treatment goes out of their way to talk to me about how, you know, the guys are trying to come together and create something supportive. And look, that's when things really, really take off. So I like hearing that. I know ages ago I got on you about being part of a group dynamic that wasn't as productive. And so again, just like I said to Mr. O'Brien, it's not those little things I get on you about. It's what do you do about it? How do you recover from it? How do you double down and push forward? And we're really pleased, Mr. Gallegos. I pushed you as well on consistency and being the same guy each time you show up. And we're really seeing great progress in that regard.
Right. Yes. And that's what I try to shoot for week in and week out. You know, every day's different, but I try to keep that same focus, that same attitude, you know, no matter who says what or whatever it might be. And like I said, I got somewhere to be, and that's what I'm heading for. So thank you.
Good. Well, congratulations. As I've said before, don't change anything. Keep doing what you're doing. But what we're seeing the progress, and I want to see you keep building on that. Great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let me talk to Mr. Moreno next. Find Mr. Moreno on my screen. There he is.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing great, Mr. Moreno. How are you doing?
I'm doing, from 2 weeks ago, I'm doing, fantastic. I'm all caught up, I was backed up on some bills and stuff, so I'm all caught up, here at the Hope House. And,
okay.
Yeah, that was a little struggle for me, I'm starting to get steady work again. Everything's going great, I was trying to make a payment, the restitution payment before court, but I didn't have a chance. So right after court, I'm definitely gonna jump on that. It'll definitely be today. Work's picking up.
Good.
Recovery. My recovery is very strong. I've never felt so happy in my life. I always got a smile on my face now. And I could talk about my past. And I don't just tell like all the newer guys, about the good. I tell them, I tell them my relapses, and I let them know, and it's really big for me, just trying to do, my part. I know I've been on drug court a little while now, and I'm just, trying to give everyone, the best advice I can give them. I feel that I'm strong enough today where I can, help that next person out, and that's what keeps me going on a daily basis. So that's what I try to do,
Good. Well, I think that's again, this is a common theme because a lot of you have been in this situation. You've made a solid effort. You had a setback, and the question is, how do you come back from that? What do you do with the lessons and with the second chance opportunity? And Mr. Moreno, we're really pleased with your effort, your dedication, your consistency. We're seeing that. I think, I know work and money have been stressful, but those things tend to work themselves out if you keep showing up and putting the work in. And it sounds like things are starting to smooth out a little bit for you, and you're feeling pretty good about it.
Yes, ma'am. I'm starting to get my color back, working steady now. So it's a good feeling.
Well, good. Mr. Moreno, it works out nicely because I'm very, I will not soon forget how happy I was to see you and Mr. Gallegos at the half marathon when I was running the finish line all by myself and runners were coming at me left and right, and you guys showed up and rolled up your sleeves and got to work. With the incentive you earned that day, we are also moving you to phase 3. So congratulations, Mr. Moreno.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You worked hard. You have earned that. So tell me a little bit about what that means for you and how that fits into your game plan.
It's just, I don't think I can have a smile bigger than what I have. It's just, like I was telling you, Your Honor, it's just, it's a big thing, but to me, it's like, I'm figuring myself out now. That's one thing that I've never spent time on myself. I was always that type of person to help the next, the next person out. And just me getting, to know myself today, it's huge. And everyone that I talk to, they feel that, besides my higher power, everyone feels that, I'm like, it was meant to be, to meet me and stuff. So, it's just a great feeling,
Yeah.
I really can't say much about it, like I say, all I could do is laugh about it, and just keep on moving, it's a feeling that I thought I would never be in the position I am today, it's great. So good. Well,
it does me good to hear you guys say, "Hey, Judge, I'm happy. I'm smiling. I'm happy about who I am." And this thing where you say I'm getting to know myself. That's a very honest and accurate statement, and it's part of why we push so hard against relationships and other distractions for a while, because there's, most of you guys, to qualify for this program, went at it hard and for a long time, and figuring out who you are clean and sober and who you want to be, it takes a little time and some space, and there's no room for relationships and any of that stuff. That time will come, but I like hearing that you're prioritizing yourself, because that's exactly what you should be doing right now. And that's what's going to make you the kind of guy that enjoys a good, healthy, long-lasting relationship when the time is right.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Mr. Moreno, I'm thrilled to see your progress, and I'm really proud of the way you're coming back from that setback. Keep it up. Don't change a thing, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Well done. How about Mr. Keene? I'll check in with Mr. Keene next.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing okay, Mr. Keene. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Just moving on in the days, like everyone else keeps saying, it becomes second nature to you once you get so deep into the program that you don't even think about it. It's just happens.
Okay.
Starting some new work with James on Friday with our individuals. He actually moved me to the new MRT group, so hopefully we got it started last week, but hopefully we can get it really going this week.
Okay.
I'm excited to see how this goes. Just dealing with life on life's terms. This whole budget thing you made me do, I am eternally grateful for, because my girlfriend was actually on the way home from picking up our son at daycare and had a flat tire. And fortunately for me, with this new budgeting thing, I was able to afford to go get a new tire today.
There you go.
So, there's a game plan to it. There's a meaning behind it. And, you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's just clarify. I didn't make you do anything, but you took a suggestion and it's paying off.
Correct. Also, I was in David Lawrence Monday turning in my paperwork, and to be told that I'm almost down to caught up with them from where I was, that just shows the progress and the work I'm putting in, and it makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Know that the work you're putting in is paying off. So, other than that, nothing's really changed. I'm trying to keep the path that I'm going because it's working for me, other than that, nothing else is really going on.
Well, when we talk about trying to get that path to level out, money's part of that picture. I mean, we'd all love it if money wasn't part of the world, but it is. And so you got to figure out how to manage it so you can keep like this and not do a bunch of this.
I even spoke with James,
Yes.
The guy you were talking about, the credit guy. I even spoke with him, and I was telling him the little basic steps that I knew how to do. And he's like, man, why are you calling me? You've already got it all figured out. And he still sent me the little pamphlet to go by. You know what I mean? But just the small things that I was doing that I didn't realize were actually what you got to do and is actually part of the big picture.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool too. So
that's actually what I thought you were talking about when you said that thing you made me do. I thought you were just talking about James, but James is just.
I was talking about the budget thing when you had me sit down with Nikki.
I did make you do that. You're right.
That's what I was talking about.
No, James is an angel in recovery who's volunteered his services, and how nice to be able to talk to a guy who knows that much about money, about credit, about getting things organized, and to hear, hey, you're already well on your way, and then you find out I could pay for an emergency. I almost have my balance paid off. All of these things are ways that you can sense your own progress and feel the benefit of your hard work. So I love hearing about it. That's great.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good. Anything that you wanted to address with us?
No, ma'am. Everything else is going great.
Good. What a nice thing to be able to say. Keep it up. And I'm glad that you were able to help out in the new group, because that's kind of nice to have a senior MRT guy go into the new group and cross over. I have a feeling they did that on purpose. So
yeah, me too.
But it'll keep things nice and fresh for you, which is also great. So I look forward to hearing how that goes for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Keep it up, Mr. King. Let me talk next with Mr. Paradiso.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Mr. Paradiso. How are you doing?
Doing great. Just as everybody's been saying, we're all doing great, and I think we owe it to drug court, of course. They keep us in line, and not just that. Our groups are turning out really good, and
Good.
the MRT is really intense. I love it though. It's really good. Yeah, the homework that we have to do after it. It's like we're back in school again. Yeah. It's all good. I can't complain. Everything's exactly how it's supposed to be.
Okay, good. Well, it's nice when things start to come together and start to feel like a good game plan that you can sustain for yourself, but that is also worth the work.
Exactly. And I think, I don't know, ever since I got my license, that big weight off my shoulder has been lifted.
Yeah.
But I feel a little bit more independent now, which is a great feeling. Something I kind of took for granted before.
Yeah, you'll never take a driver's license for granted again.
No.
At this point. But that's the fact that it required you to be patient and to sustain your effort for a period of time just makes it have that much more value to you.
Exactly, and patience is something I don't think I've ever had before. So I'm learning new things as I go along with this program.
Yeah, and that's the idea. Nobody starts this program perfect. Nobody ends this program perfect either. But hopefully you're figuring out, as I was saying earlier, what are my strengths? What are the things I need to work on? And how do I try to just, direct my energy to balancing that out? Everybody's got a different, hand of cards they're playing here, but all of you have the capacity to reach what you're shooting for. So I love hearing that you're feeling the progress.
Yeah, everything is great. It's a process of just rebuilding myself, and I'm liking who I'm becoming so far.
Good. That helps ensure that even once you're finished with us, you'll keep putting in the work.
Exactly. Because who I am now is it puts me in a really good spot mentally and just and this is where I want to be.
Good. Well, keep it up, Mr. Paradiso. We're thrilled to see how it's going for you. Great job.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate everything.
Let me touch base next with Mr. Mullen.
Can you hear me?
I do. How you doing, Mr. Mullen?
I'm doing great. My dad called me today, and he was talking to me about, I guess he talked to a case manager or somebody at drug court, and they were telling him that a lot of people had died lately, and from my drug of choice. So he's like, be careful when we hung up the phone. And I thought to myself, be careful. That's the last thing on earth I want to touch right now. And I was like, man, it was weird because it's just, I don't even think about it anymore. And you know what I mean? So it was very strange. And I liked it though, because that told me I was on the right path and doing the right thing, Yeah,
sure.
But so yeah, I got some friends on the job situation.
Okay.
I got well, first of all, I went to Tijuana Flats.
Okay.
And they said they had a help wanted sign on the door, so I grabbed the application and I filled it out and gave it back. Julie's the manager, so I'm waiting to hear back from her for an interview or whatever. I should get the job. I don't, there's no reason why I shouldn't. So, but then I'm also trying to start my own company. Okay. So I put a like a business plan together.
Okay.
And I have that in case anybody wants to see it. So I'm kind of trying to do both at the same time. So
okay.
As far as my recovery goes, that's super strong. I went to church on Sunday. Saturday night, I was at the 24-hour club with Andy. We went together to the 8:30 Saturday Night Live meeting. And then, Friday night, I was at Harvest. And I saw Courtney there. And then, my whole weekend was great. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm I'm in groups, and then Tuesdays as well, I have another group that I go to. So these are all face-to-face ones. So I'm meeting people, and I'm staying connected, and also working on my spiritual condition. So everything's going well.
Good. Yeah, but it's starting to put together a network of people who are supportive, who are good company. You know, if you've got people that you can enjoy, maybe do stuff with even before or after a meeting, this is definitely part of what really helps you, you know, stay on the path that you're setting up for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
The only thing that I would note for you is I have had folks in drug court try to start their own business, and I have had folks do that successfully. I'll give you a giant caution because it's tricky. I know that I have worked for other people and I have worked for myself, and I am by far the worst boss I ever had. When you are working for yourself and it's your reputation and it's your client, you may get tempted to, you know, go bigger and farther and so forth. And when you're trying to work a very structured and strict program, it can be hard. There's an advantage to, well, if I'm my own boss, I can always get to a UA, I can manage my own schedule, et cetera, et cetera. And that's true depending on what the business is, I suppose. But just caution, in my many years of doing this, it has been a mixed blessing for folks. And where it has worked better is if folks do just what you're doing. They work on the planning, they work on the strategy, they sort of start to line things up, but maybe they don't actually execute formally until they're deeper in the program, or maybe even past the moving on point. The other thing that I've had work for folks sometimes is, I'll use an example. I have no idea what your business would be, but if you were going to start a painting business, instead of actually rolling out right now, finding someone with a small painting business who might take on a partner or a high-level employee, just kind of doing a middle ground.
Road, it runs parallel to
just doing a bit of a middle ground until you have fewer requirements from us demanding so much of your time. So just think about it. I just want to caution you not to take on too much at once, because we all sort of think being our own boss will be the ultimate freedom. Definitely not my experience. So just be careful.
Yeah, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I'm not. That's why I'm getting a regular job. I mean, it's something that's in the works, and it's not time for that yet. Because I mean, it's what it is it's you have to meet with different business owners, and then you do advertising online for them. You know what I mean? So that's what the business is. But right now I don't have the time or the effort, and it would take a lot more time. So yeah, I'm gonna be happy with just whatever part-time they give me for now. And I haven't wanted anything. Everything's I've got everything I need.
Okay,
and
good.
Can't complain.
I think you're right on then, and by all means, work on the planning if you're serious about it. Work on getting things organized, writing a business plan. That's a big deal. But just kind of laying the groundwork. But you're smart to keep something that will have a hopefully a set schedule, or at least a somewhat predictable one, and just kind of toe that line while we get you through the most intense phases of this program. You're off to a really strong start with us. So, I like the way things are shaping up for you. It sounds really good.
Yeah, I'm happy.
What's better in this world to be able to say than I'm happy? Those two words. Look, I know for each of you, each square on my screen right now represents many years of misery and suffering. And so to be able to turn that around and be in a position to honestly say, hey, I'm not rich. I still got a couple of problems, but I am happy. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep letting us know how we can help. Okay, Mr. Mullen?
I will. Thank you, Your Honor.
Great job.
Thanks.
Let me turn next to Mr. Gonzalez.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm okay, Mr. Gonzalez. How are you doing this week?
I'm good. I didn't know what to do with myself last week, not seeing you on Tuesday. It was different.
Did the team let you know you could go to every other week?
No, I didn't know that. I just found out I wasn't on the docket last week. So,
okay.
So.
And I'm actually not currently in charge of that. The team's organizing the docket. So, but it's usually a good sign if they tell you can take a week off. So what have you been working on for us?
I've been working on a lot, actually. What was it? Two weekends ago, my sponsor brought me to the Willow, and I spoke and shared at the Willow, which was an awesome experience. I got involved. I showed up to church, and they were doing a food drive type situation thing in the parking lot. So I went up, asked if they needed help. I ended up going over with them, delivering donated food to Project Outreach, and
Great.
Unloaded trucks over there. I'm getting involved with them to do more volunteer work with them. This last Sunday, or 2 days ago, there was a NA kickball. It was supposed to be Fort Myers versus Collier County. Nobody from Fort Myers showed up, so it was just Naples on Naples. But it was awesome. It was a really good event, really good turnout. It was cool to expand my network a little bit more. I spent this last weekend doing that and really just recentering and refocusing. I was getting reconnected with my higher power and trying to strengthen my spiritual connection. I was feeling a little off and angry and distant last week. So I just, and I know when I'm starting to do that, I'm falling farther and farther away from my higher power. So as long as I put that first, everything else is kind of, I still have struggles and issues, but everything else kind of works out and comes back together with that. Like Mr. Mullen just shared too, I've actually been researching I've got quite a few business plans, and I'm not executing any, but I'm putting myself in a position to be around. Like, for instance, I've got I want to build some type of furniture and at some point donate them to either donate or do really cheap for low income housing. I also want to do like a clothing line. So I've reached out to t-shirt companies, furniture stores, and a couple other people in positions of jobs that I want to do, so I can kind of get like mentorships. So I've told them, look, I'm not trying to take business from you. This is still later on. I just want to know if there's any advice you can give me for starting my own business, the do's and the don'ts. So I'm really trying to surround myself around people to what's the word I'm looking for, to execute my goals and succeed in every venture that I want to when the time comes.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know, it's been a little while, but I know St. Matt was with their thrift shop. They were training guys to do all kinds of stuff with furniture because the donations sometimes need various things. And there was some pretty cool furniture expertise going on over there. I don't know if that's at all similar to what you were working on, but pretty cool training ground for anybody that's interested in making furniture.
Mm-hmm.
So just something I toss out there. I knew somebody that had worked at a very high level in that industry and was sort of semi-retired and went over and got a job there working with a lot of the guys to do whatever might be necessary to take that donated stuff, make it valuable, make it desirable for folks. And just as you said, oftentimes it's going to help either directly or indirectly help people who need a hand up. So there's some good stuff in what you mentioned there. I'm glad to hear it. And I really like hearing that you're finding some avenues for service work too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get a lot out of service work and helping other people. I mean, I did that growing up. I was raised, my mom's always done volunteering stuff. I love that type of stuff. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned a second ago, having some moments where you felt anger, and a great antidote for that is just, turning outward and going and helping somebody else out. It helps you get out of your head, helps you sort of, blow off whatever that steam was. And, I think you're tapping into some really, really good stuff there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good. Anything else that you wanted to address, Mr. Gonzalez?
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, keep up the good work. Great job.
Thank you
Mr.
so
Darrow,
much.
sorry. Mr. Darrow?
I just while I had him, I was just going to let Mr. Gonzalez know the motion is set on Thursday. I don't think unless the court's going to require his presence, I don't think he would need to be there, but on the no contact order and the trespass order is set.
Okay. Yes, I did see that go on to the docket. So yeah, we'll address that. And yeah, Mr. Darrow, if you want to have him on Zoom, we can. If not, I think you're right. I probably wouldn't require Mr. Gonzalez, but I'll leave that between lawyer and client. But yeah, I did see that on Thursday's schedule. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, also, I did take care of my last restitution payment, so restitution is paid.
Fantastic. Congratulations. That is, that's a big deal. That's a nice thing to be able to cross off the to-do list. And I see Mr. Gallegos smiling. I think I heard Mr. Gallegos. Did I hear that you got yours squared away too?
Yes, Your Honor, that was months ago. I got it all paid off.
Yours is done. Okay. It was just a conversation we had in conjunction with your phasing. So it is nice. I know for some folks you've got bigger numbers and you might be working on it for a little while, but great job and well done making that a priority. And I think if I remember correctly, you've done that ahead of the schedule. So good for you. Well done. Let me switch over next to Mr. Leyva.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. I kind of more or less did seniority today, reverse seniority. So working my way to our newest folks. Mr. Leyva, how are things going for you this week?
Things are going pretty good. Doing all my meetings, meeting with Nikki every week, working, spending time with family. I mean, everything's going pretty good.
Okay, good. I think that's you've given me a similar report each week. These first few weeks, those have been the things you've been working on. It sounds like that's going pretty well for you. How are you doing as far as the things that we're requiring you to do?
Meetings and stuff like that.
Meetings,
I went to
treatment, probation, all of it.
Okay, I'm doing good on probation. Doing drug tests every 2 times a week. Everything's good with that. I went to 24-hour club with Justin on Saturday night.
Good.
Was pretty good. Besides everything else is good.
Okay. Yeah. I had some information that there was a bit of a couple different things with David Lawrence Center. Missed a session.
Miss a section?
You missed an individual treatment session on February 16th?
I actually forgot. She texted me and I called her right away and I actually forgot.
Now, how do you forget? Because that should be, it's in your phone, it's in your planner, it's a couple of different places, right?
I actually didn't put it anywhere. And
I guess that answers my question. That's how you forget it.
Yeah, and I got comfortable because Brooks told me she was gonna text me before, but she didn't. But it was my fault anyways. It was my fault. Yeah. Didn't put her anywhere.
Yeah,
but I did call her right away, and I sent sorry to her. You know.
Okay. And then the other thing that I got was about some sort of an episode in the front office there with the financial paperwork. I don't need to know anything about the financials. I'm more just concerned about attitude and respect and communication. It sounds like that fell below the standard I set for people in drug court, is how you were talking to members at DLC. Is there anything I need to understand about that?
I feel like I actually talked to James about it yesterday on the group, because I actually feel like she made me feel like, damn, she's there to help me or to like put me down, because she told me to bring a paper in without being notarized, and then when I brought the paper in notarized without being notarized, she told me that I had to bring the paper notarized, and that was we were going back and forth with that.
Okay. Well, the concerns I have, so those are the two big things that were brought to me by the team. Missing a treatment session, and then what's been described as some, and I have a lot of detail, what's been described as a pretty aggressive and impolite discussion, whether there's a misunderstanding or a miscommunication about notarizing a paper, should never lead to somebody's voice being raised or any of the things that were described to me. So this is behavior that I don't really I can't support that. I don't want to see that in drug court. Everybody on this team, and that includes everybody at David Lawrence Center, you should be treating all of them with the exact same respect that you show me. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
So what do we need to do here, Mr. Leyva? Do I need to get involved? Do I need to have you come stay with Sheriff Rambosk for a couple of nights, or what do we need to do to make sure that none of this stuff, none of this attitude, none of the disrespect, and certainly none of the negligence in missing a treatment session, I got to make sure that never happens again. So what do I need to do?
I don't know, ma'am. I mean, I didn't disrespect anybody. She told me, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Okay. Well, I've got a few different ideas from the team, and certainly the side that is on the defense side wants me to either take no action or warn you or do something minor, and I've got other members on the team that say, Judge, he needs to go to jail for a couple of days, because I tell you, nothing gets me upset faster than hearing that somebody on the team's been addressed in a way that's disrespectful or aggressive, any of those things. I can't tolerate that at all.
I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't, like I said, I didn't disrespect her, It just, she told me like that I didn't want to deal with her. And all I say back to her is that you're the one that's saying that you don't want to deal with me. I'm not saying that. So I never raised my voice for her or anything. It just, we went back and forth, I mean, I didn't disrespect her at any moment, and I stayed there. And she told me to notarize the paper, so I went back and notarized the paper the same day yesterday.
Okay.
I mean, I apologize if,
Okay. And the missed treatment session, are you going to be able to avoid that happening again, or what are you going to do to address that?
Yeah, I will avoid that to happen again, man.
I mean, I know some folks on the team, I'll use this word, some folks on the team are nicer than I am, and they do nice little things like send out reminders. At the end of the day, you're the guy on probation, you're the guy in drug court, you're the guy who's got to manage himself. You're grown up. And so, if she happens to send reminders, that doesn't mean you get to just take your hands off the wheel and let her do all the driving. That's not how this works.
I understand, man, and I apologize for that. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I promise you that.
Okay. All right. Well, hang on for just a minute. I'm going to circle back to you, Mr. Leyva, because I want to think about a couple different things. So stand by. I think one way or another, I need to craft something that is a consequence. Each of those things, frankly, will typically draw a consequence from me, and I've got both of them. But I want to think about how I want to structure it. So stand by and I'll get back with you in just a minute. I want to talk next with Mr. Ferreira. Where's Mr. Ferreira? There he is.
Can you hear
There
me?
you are. Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor.
What's been going on for you?
A whole lot. A whole lot. Just getting acclimated with everything here. Digesting, absorbing, good words to use. Acclimated. I'm just getting adjusted to everything, the schedule, probation, doing my UAs every day so far. Well, last week every day, and then this week a couple UAs with probation and stuff like that. getting used to how everything works. Trying to, you know, I'm really focused on trying to do the right thing. I really want to do a good job.
Okay.
And focusing on myself for once. I'm always, you know, scatterbrained and everywhere else, but you know, I'm always trying to meet deadlines and pay things and responsibility and getting ahead of myself. And for once, everybody's telling me to slow down.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm kind of like the kind of person that's really thinking, you know, 2 weeks ahead. I want to make sure everything's paid off. I want to make sure my credit's not, you know, and, you know, I want to get, you know, I'm already thinking about paying off, you know, drug court because I don't want to get, you know, behind. But everybody's like, hey, just relax, chill out. Yeah. You know, I'm looking for jobs right away. And, you know, I got to take my time and with the help of the team members and people that we have in group sessions and James and Nikki, Brooke, all the guys in the meetings have been tremendous with giving me the greatest advice.
Okay.
You know, being in the house with the guys like Omar and you know, another guy here that's, you know, Richie, has just been giving me some really good vibes about what I need to focus on. And I need to focus on myself. You know, today I have a purpose. You know, I just really quick, you know, I was just out there seeing the bees and the birds doing their job. And I said, you know, everything in this world God gives us, you know, there's a purpose. You know, the bee is collecting honey. He's doing his purpose. Everybody has a purpose. So just knowing that I have a purpose is really, even this little things right now are making a difference. The signal's coming in really clear. Saying thank you, gratitude. Just the other day, I found myself helping 2 addicts, you know, an addict, you know, an older lady that was looking for her purse and you know, she was going through her thing, and me being able to stop what I'm doing and helping her, I stopped in my own tracks saying, wow, I'm actually helping another addict, you know, following what I should have been following in the book and stuff. And saying thank you to my higher power. There was a disconnect with religion, and knowing that I can, you know, I turned my back on God, you know, God didn't turn his back on me, and just knowing that the gratitude on that side of you know, connecting with a relationship with my religion and thinking about, you know, peeling layers. You know, the team is, as I'm peeling layers back and doing exercises that I've never done before. I'm realizing and identifying the benefits of recovery, having a better quality of life, sensing all that stuff. Yeah, that's me right now.
Okay.
You know, smiling, you know, like Omar and Chris said, you know, and I commend those guys for their accomplishments and what they did and modding up. And that to me is a success story in itself, and an inspiration for me, because, you know, you hear the you know, the drug court's a setup, you know, don't do it, stay with me in jail, don't cop out on a plea, and this. So I want to be a success story.
Okay.
And I see that they're gauged. I see that you are even gauged on the success story, because you guys reformatted the system into that, into more success stories than, you know, what we're hearing through the grapevines, you know, that it's a setup. And I think that you guys are trying to diminish that, the speculations.
Yeah. We don't have too many success stories in the jail for you to talk to like that. So that's your first clue, right?
Right. Just learning that, and for my recovery, I'm focusing on broadening my spectrum, my you know, taking different avenues. I've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings, but broadening my avenues and spectrum to outdoor meetings. Some of the guys are coming out and offering, and that's what it's about. You know, offering helping hands and taking carpools. I'm trying to get my license right now. I spoke to Rex Darrow. I sent him, he's been great about responding back to me. I read his email today. He's working on getting an order together. Okay. You know, so I went to the DMV. I'm trying to get that going on, so that way I can go to meetings and maybe help other people also, you know, because having, like Ricky said, you know, having your license, you don't realize till you lose it how important it is. Yeah. So working on getting my hardship. I just, you know, went through all this stuff and I know what I need to do. So working on that, Your Honor, trying to get my license, you know, working with that Rex Darrow and that stuff. went to some meetings this last week, speaker meeting at 24-hour club, open discussion meeting. Went to church on Sunday, Tree of Life with Omar. Omar was nice enough to take me with him and his family. Shaking some hands, gratitude, shaking hands with some other people, putting myself out there, which sometimes it works against me, because I talk a lot, so that's things I'm working on, figuring out, taking the cotton out of my ears, putting it in my mouth. All these little things are coming into my head, and I'm getting all these great attributes from the guys and advice. Everybody. I mean, not if I mentioned it, if I, Brian, if I forgot names and stuff like that, everybody has been jumping out and saying, listen, this is what you need to start focusing on. Don't worry about it. Set up little goals. Don't set up big goals. One of the guys was talking about it. Start off like that so you can check one off the list. Doing that, and like I said, having a purpose, getting, broadening in my spectrum, taking different avenues that I'm doing the race. I told Nikki, count me in for the race on the 27th. I want to do things like be comfortable being uncomfortable, is the old saying.
Okay.
So it's happening,
Good.
I'm excited about it. Like I said, I'm excited. It's inspirational hearing these guys getting modded up and their success stories and just the group, like the team, like the camaraderie of things, like, a race, you going and saying, there's going to be a race and I want to be a part of it. Just everything is new and it's good and it's refreshing. The guys are refreshing. The team is refreshing. Nikki is doing a tremendous job with helping me.
Good. Good.
Figure things out, peeling back layers. I had a little slip up. I forgot, some stuff, but, I caught myself and I'm working on little exercises, and I'm getting back into writing again, creative writing and old hobbies like fishing and the guys here are helping me figure things out and
good.
And it's going to happen, I'm not perfect, and we're going to sin. And I talk to my God. There's nobody else that's going to do this that I can thank more enough than God for first and foremost, because he makes this all possible for me. Giving me these opportunities. I'm taking advantage of these opportunities and I'm taking advantage of all these different outlets and avenues. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Your Honor, for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely.
I've been on both sides.
I don't get any credit for giving you the opportunity. That is that's the rest of the team. I only met you when I took your plea, but I'm thrilled that the team got your referral and got you to us. And I think all of that is all good stuff. I'll keep it short because I've got a few guys I still want to try to talk to before I run out of time here. But the most important thing you mentioned that I just want to reiterate is that suggestion you're getting to be patient and to slow it way down, because there's about 115 things you just itemized, and don't try to tackle that list at once. Be patient with yourself. Set small goals. You're getting great suggestions from the guys, and so take those to heart. They know what they're talking about, and if you can just keep yourself slowed down and in the moment and be patient with yourself, you're going to reach all of these tremendous goals, and you're going to accomplish all the things you just listed out for me. So keep up the good work, Mr. Ferreira.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Let me touch base with Mr. Spradlin, who's with us having moved on from the program. Mr. Spradlin, how are you doing?
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing okay. Mr. Spradlin, why'd they have you come to court today?
Well, I'm sure you've heard about it, no?
I want to hear you tell me about it.
Well, it's a big misunderstanding. So, yeah, they called me in for a dilute, I guess, that I had taken about a month ago. And by not hearing from them, I figured I was done. I was told I was done. So, that was more on my part, I guess. So, too, I got a little ahead of myself, I guess. But I got a lot of things going on, and I couldn't make it down there. I tried to keep in contact with them. And then they told me I had court Tuesday. So then I kind of, no disrespect, and apologize if anybody was felt disrespected. And then I did say on my part, as far as I felt I was done with them. So until I heard from you otherwise, that I didn't really have to report to them. But it's a huge misunderstanding, man. I really thought I was done with them.
Well, I guess the one concern I have with that, and you can clarify this for me, but you know, whether you're finished with something or not, if a member of this team asks you to jump, you say how high.
Yeah, I know. I definitely
you're in drug court all the way to the end. So what I'm concerned about is the suggestion, and it was quoted from a text message for me, so I don't think that was a miscommunication, but essentially saying, I'm not doing anything till the judge tells me I had to. Now, what do you think drug court looks like if I got to be the one that gives all the orders and nobody does anything unless they hear it from the judge? It doesn't work that way. You've heard me say this before. Every member of this team is an extension of the court, including me. We're all part of the drug court. Somebody asked you to do something, which is come on down here to take another drug test, and you didn't do it.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot of things going on, man. I haven't heard from them for a month, and I'm here running the business, and I really couldn't. I tried to keep in contact with them, and I couldn't make it down there. I tried to tell them, and by the time I got something back from them, it was too late, I guess.
Well, if somebody stayed 2 hours late after quitting time for you to be there, you didn't make it.
He called me about
promised to be there the next day. You promised to be there the next day. You didn't make it. You want to get into a philosophical debate with me about whether or not you're still in drug court, we can do that, but I'll have you on a monitor from the jail for that conversation.
I apologize, man. It's just a huge misunderstanding on my part.
Well,
I definitely,
just try to
I
figure
see
out
I got ahead of myself.
There's not much to misunderstand about get in here and take a drug test.
No, understood. I understand.
I think you didn't misunderstand. I think you were busy, or worse, you were ducking us.
I wasn't trying to duck anybody, man.
Okay, because I got a dilute and I got a guy I can't get in for a drug test. I mean, I don't have to be in drug court for too long to learn what I'm supposed to conclude from that. A dilute followed by unavailable equals relapse.
I'm willing to do whatever you guys ask. I'm not trying to duck anybody, and there was no relapse.
Well, you said it well when you said out you got ahead of yourself a little bit, because you're still absolutely in drug court till you're off probation. And it's unfortunate that you got the impression that you had completed part of drug court, but even still, this is the second time since you moved on that I've hauled you into court because of a problem over at David Lawrence with how you conducted yourself. So I know if you didn't know it the first time, you surely know it by now, that even once you move on, you still got to do what this team asks you to do. We've already had one little regroup session together. I'm surprised we're having a second one.
I didn't really recall. It's been about 4 or 5 months. So.
All right. Well, I got a couple different options. I can get a formal violation of probation, which would be a warrant, and bring you into custody, and we'll figure it out. I got another alternative, which is we can handle it as a sanction, and you can turn yourself into the jail and do a few days in jail to get your head reset to the fact that you're still in drug court. And if a member of this team tells you to do something, I don't care how long ago you moved on, you do it.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I'll take the sanction.
Violation, or you want to come into the jail tonight, and I'll let you out Thursday morning.
I'll take the sanction.
I want you at the jail. It's 4 o'clock now. I want you there before 6. Okay. And I'll let you out Thursday morning, and I won't do a formal violation. It's short. I'm sure it's painful. I know you're important to that business, but understand in no uncertain terms, you are in drug court until you're off probation. And more importantly, you're a man in recovery who has his priorities straight. You don't, for day after day, tell me your business is a bigger deal than doing what you need to do for your recovery. You'll be back in a jail cell on new charges in no time if that's how you're running your show. I don't want to see. I
apologize. It was a misunderstanding, ma'am. I'm apologizing, and I won't Say no more.
I accept that. And look, Mr. Spradlin, you've always been nice to work with. And so that, I don't want you to think that that's changed, but I need to make sure that we have your attention and keep your attention all the way through to completion of your probation. Drug court's a contract that runs all the way till you're off probation. So we shouldn't have any more misunderstandings, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Spradlin, I'll do an order. Report to the jail no later than 6. We'll have you out first thing on Thursday morning. And I won't sign a violation, but anybody on this team, I don't care if you've been out of drug court and David Lawrence Center for 3 months, David Lawrence calls you up and says, be here before 5, you do it, okay? When you get off the probation, that'll be a different story, but not 1 minute before, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Spradlin, good luck. I'll get that order filed.
All right, thank you.
All right, and then Mr.
Can I have one more question, ma'am?
Yes.
Sorry. So do I just, when I get out, report back to David Lawrence?
David Lawrence, do you all need to have Mr. Spradlin? I've got a few of you on the call. Somebody want to jump in and give him instructions as to what he needs to do?
I'll get with James, but then I'll call him on Thursday, Your Honor.
Okay, so Jason will be in touch with you Thursday when you get out.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Spradlin, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Leyva,
Yes, ma'am.
you have any other thoughts on what I should do to address the situation you're in?
Yes,
Same
ma'am.
thing?
Yes. I apologize again, and I'm sorry. I didn't know. I mean, I've never been in this program, so I mean, I didn't know what's a really big issue, you know. And I promise you, it won't happen again, and trust me, it won't happen again.
Okay.
It won't happen again.
Here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Leyva. I'm going to do the same thing. The mistreatment session was a big deal. The interaction with the treatment staff was a bigger deal. And so I'm going to have you do the same thing. I'm going to adopt the recommendation from part of the team that you turn yourself in tonight. You'll get out Thursday morning and you pick up where you left off. You'll call probation when you get out, and then head up the street and check in with David Lawrence Center. But I want to make sure that we're clear. And I haven't gone into it here on the screen in front of everybody else, but the attitude that was relayed to me in extensive detail is not acceptable. Okay, if there's any kind of confusion or concern, every member of this team is to be addressed with the same respect that you give me. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If not, then my alternative is to do a formal violation of probation. But one point that was made by the team is heaven and earth got moved to get you into this program, and you're barely into this program, and we're having missed treatment sessions and disrespectful interactions. I can't have this go on.
It's crazy.
If this is, I'll mute Mr. Ferreira. If this is something that's going to be going on, let me know, and we'll work on just having you not be in.
Yes, I really want to say something, you know, because I never raised my voice to her or anything, you know. I don't know why they saying that I raised my voice, because I never raised my voice. The only thing that I say is that she told me, if you don't want to deal with me, just don't deal with me. So, and the only thing that I said back is, you're the one that's saying that I don't want to deal with you. That's the only thing that I said back. So I don't know why they're saying that I raised my voice. And Nikki was there too. So I don't know why they. I really don't know why. I really don't understand why they're doing this right now. Okay.
Well, it was fairly clear in that it was more than just that, and that anytime you've drawn the attention of additional staff members, you probably have crossed a line, and that's the concern that I have, and I want to make sure that no member of this team, including no member at David Lawrence, is addressed any differently than you would address me. Missing the treatment session's another issue as well. I've got 2 problems right now. So I'm giving you an opportunity to accept a sanction, a brief incarceration, and then move forward in good standing, and demonstrate to me that, I've got it. I'm gonna track my own schedule. I'm gonna be responsible for showing up where I'm supposed to be, and I'm gonna interact respectfully with everybody on the team going forward. That's all I'm looking for.
Okay, so what time I have to be at jail?
Need to be there no later than 6 tonight. So I'll let you leave the call, head down there. I'll let you out first thing Thursday morning, pick up where you left off.
All right, man, no problem.
Okay, I'll sign the order to that effect then. With that, I think I have addressed everyone, and I'll let you guys go a few minutes late. Keep up the good work, guys. It's hard work. Get it done. Good luck, everybody.